Hey, sister. How you doing? Put your mic on, hon.
I said, I'm doing good. How you doing?
Yeah, okay. Freaking hell. Fruit Loop. So, how's your
Well, it's funny because actually the theme we're going to talk about is exactly that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that. So, yeah, today we're going to talk about ascending, going through some ascension symptoms myself at the moment. Excuse me. Say something, Emma.
Welcome to 5 years where I want to be. Me and Debs have a little chat every so often. We try and keep it quite regular. We post it on our Telegram group on Better Emotions, so do join us there. And do like and share if you enjoy our conversation. We just kind of come together, have a little chat about whatever comes up. And today we're going to talk about Ascension Symptoms and what that is all about, and possibly about the Great Awakening. And you know, we've been hearing this word, but a lot of people are not too sure what this is all about. We were just talking about that, right? Just kind of literally just the logical functioning. The mind is kind of, for me, it's there's malfunctions.
Totally, babe.
Like forgetting to press the pause or the play, or you know, just really little things like
at the same time. Whether that works, do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just been a bit of a nutty, crazy week for me.
Yeah, you haven't been very well. Tell us about that, Debs.
Well, it's really bizarre because I'm not a sickly person at all. I'm quite healthy, and if there isn't if I do feel out of balance, I generally am able to put myself in balance very quickly. However, for about 3 weeks now, I thought I had listeria poisoning from a food product, because I had diarrhea, feeling hot and cold, very lethargic for about 5 days. I thought maybe I'd got a bug or something, so I got my homemade hydrochloroquine out of the freezer and drunk some of that. Felt better actually after drinking that, and then I thought I had perhaps a bout of hay fever. My eating habits have been all over the place, like craving carbs, not being bothered to cook. This is just so not me. I actually bought a packet of crisps the other day, which is something that I haven't done for ages, for months. I think the last time was probably Christmas at my sister's, right? So yeah, my eating habits are off the wall. I'm drinking so much water and I still feel thirsty. My sleeping patterns, like I'm waking up on a pin, right? But going to bed quite late because I can't sleep. What else has been happening? Okay, so the analogy of pressing the pause button and the play button at the same time was actually in full effect whilst I was driving a car. I'm quite a competent driver, so my friend told me. So I've got my foot on the accelerator, and for some stupid moment, I've taken my foot off of the clutch and pressed the brake, which of course the car's gone into what does she want mode and just stalled in the middle of the road. So I had to have strong words with myself about whether I should actually be operating any type of machinery at that point. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just been bizarre. Seeing things at the corner of my eye. Yeah. Almost like I think it was a few months ago, I saw what was like a porthole. So it's like someone had ripped a hole in my living room, is the only way I can explain this. Someone had ripped a hole in my living room and I could see somewhere else. And this was in my waking day. So I was awake. Yeah. So I can only explain that. A porthole is the only way I can explain that. What else has been happening? I think that's enough for now. I've got more to share later with my.
Well, I mean, as well for myself, like the last 2 months as well, I would say. I mean, I went to Mexico and we did so much kind of energetic work, and we were kind of, you know, bringing in these very intense energies, and we hold space with like 150 light workers in one same place in Tulum, where the energy lines are really strong. Basically, it was so intense that we were literally, everyone was forgetting their phone, was forgetting where they were, was, you know, like, you know what I mean? It was,
I do, totally.
You could see it, you could actually see it in other people in this place, because there were so many of us in the same kind of frequency, if you will, but experiencing the same kind of ascensions and allowing them to be. But it's kind of because you're so in your heart that, you know, the mind is like, you forget to use the mind so much. It's like we're shifting into this not so masculine energy into this feminine kind of way, you know. And I feel as well, like the symptoms, when it comes to symptoms, as you were mentioning, insomnia, nausea as well, feeling nauseous, and actually really thirsty as well. I felt very, very thirsty all the time, but that was last year. But again, these are symptoms, ascension symptoms that they've been speaking about. We've been speaking about this for a while, and you can tell, you know. And also, like, a lot of people are thinking it's the names that they call it, the system call, you know, the big C, the hunky pox, whatever you want to call them. But you know, all of these different illnesses, and people are actually just getting sick, but they're believing that it's these different illnesses, or, you know, the system is making it believe that, Babylon, if you will. But actually what we know is that, you know, my brother was really sick, his wife has been really sick, like his kids were really sick with a virus, but there's a lot of people getting sick, you know, like vomiting as well, like. And for me, it's just the body excelling. It's the body kind of how do you say that? Recalibrating. Yeah, recalibrating. You know, it's like it's kind of letting go of the shadows. You know, because the light is so intense, there's no other way. So it's coming out through your pores. It's coming out through, you know, from your digestive system. I don't know. This is the way I feel that, you know, all of these things, why they're so, at the same time, it's just really strange that, you know, so many people are feeling
totally
ill, you know?
Yeah, people that I'm speaking to aren't sleeping very well. And it's funny, like quite a majority of the people that I've been speaking to, I was speaking to within the 2 years, like with the lockdowns and stuff, right? And obviously we were on the same page, but they're like not sleeping, or they feel really lethargic. They feel like they've had like the worst bout of hay fever that they've ever had, and they're drinking loads of water and still can't consume enough water. So it's reassuring, but a little bit crazy, also, because I feel like I've actually felt like I'm dying. Like, it's nothing to do with feeling suicidal or anything like that at all. But I've actually felt so bad and so like low in life force energy, even though I've been running energy, I've been still doing my nutrients and stuff, apart from like craving loads of carbs. I've been eating okay, but I feel like I'm splitting. I can't find the words to describe what I'm feeling, but it does feel like dying, even though there's not a panic around feeling like dying. But yeah, it feels like just I feel like I'm just so depleted of energy.
It feels like it sounds like you're, I think it sounds like, you know, when you're connected with quantum energy and you've done, you know, you've emptied your vessel, like perhaps myself, in your case, I think, you know, when you're holding the light at a collective consciousness kind of view, like more in general for the planet, like I think you're just feeling the burden of the energy on the planet, like everybody else's energy.
Yeah, totally. I really get that as as an empath. I'm not sure what type of empath I am, because I know that there's a variation of types. But I'm really I'm aware, because also at the beginning of lockdown, I felt the collective anxiety. So I had to do some extra protection on myself and be aware that it isn't mine. However, I'm totally owning this space because it feels like it's my journey. I felt also incredibly isolated, but I've seen people. It's really the strangest thing. It's almost on the cusp of energy.
I think it's the way you're describing it. I just view it as it's planetario. It's from the planet. It's happening, babe. I think there is a big split now, and we're seeing it more and more. And I think for myself, for example, I do feel that sometimes I have been feeling nostalgic. You know, it's strange, and I haven't been eating the right foods. You know, I haven't been even wanting to cook.
Yeah, me neither.
It's really strange. I'm normally really good. I'm like, okay, now I'm going to do my workout. Now I'm going to do my juice. Now, but actually, I have been feeling a little bit like overwhelmed. Like you know, it's like I have to really, really focus and push hard. I feel like I am feeling as well nostalgic. I'm feeling that vibration as well. And I think that's it's just our duty to kind of, you know, keep up and hold the light. But
yeah,
I mean, we're human, for frick's sake, you know.
No, we're definitely having a human experience, but this is a human upgrade we're going through right about now.
No, it's an upgrade. It's a split between the 3D. It's a split between the 3D density way of living going into the 5D way of living, because it's also a frequency.
Yeah, but on a physical level, I'm feeling the carbon drop off, and I'm not sure what a crystalline body feels like, but I feel like whatever that is, I'm going there. I feel like something's dying, because I felt like I'm dying. So it's some form of Debbie that is dying, dropping off to another dimension, or whatever's going on. I can't explain it because we've never been there. We've never been here. Like this
is totally new. We're all experiencing. This is something that we are all experiencing, and each person that is out there, even if you don't believe in ascension or you're not too sure what that is, we're all going through it. Our bodies are feeling it because the energy is on the planet. There's no, you know, there is no coming out of that. You know, it's like the galactic sun is very aligned. Everything is aligned, and it's connecting with the mother core 5D crystalline base inside the planet, like in Mother Earth, because there's crystals in Mother Earth.
Yeah, of course there is. That's
so the inner side of the planet has now been activated. It was activated, I think, in the solstice of December. And anyway, that's activated now. And the sun energy is coming in very strong as well. I think that's why when it comes into our body, the light is so strong that, yeah, exactly that, you know, the shadows.
There's a solar flare that's coming anywhere now. I think it's either September or October.
Yeah, there's something big coming.
Yeah, that solar flare is like the defib, if you like. Boom, you're gonna, like, everyone's then just gonna fall into crystalline or transhumanism, whichever way you're choosing to go.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that if you don't start clearing the vessel and doing the work to be able to come out of 3D, the light can't come through you, so that it becomes pain. It becomes, you know, the shadows come out through pain, through illnesses. Yeah, so that's why it's important to get rid of the shadow so that you can actually align with these energies and breathe them in and allow them to sustain in your body, because they're so intense that even when your vessel is clear, even me, I still have stuff, and I need to shake out. I need to literally shake out and like do things. I need to actually meditate and imagine that my feet are connected to the golden roots going into Mother Earth, and then diving, like literally putting the roots into Mother Earth, into the 5 core, making me feel super grounded, and then creating like a shield to like protect me from anything, you know, coming in, and also just releasing releasing all the narcissists into Mother Earth so that it just goes into the, you know, just getting rid of all the goo, you know.
I tell you something, right? Like, even though I've been really craving and eating the carbs, I've been like, yeah, whatever. I'm just doing whatever I need to do right now. I feel like my muscles are stronger, which is not what happens when I eat carbs. I like, you know, kind of feel a little bit flabby, but no, I'm not at all. So it's quite unusual, the flip, that I'm eating quite a lot of carbs, but yet I feel my muscles are really strong right now. And I hear where you're going. Like, I'm having to go through the motions of doing things. There's certain things that I'm like, I negotiate my day with energy at the moment, right? And there's like a priority list of kind of not living in too much mess and clutter, and doing, you know, some form of good food where I can, you know, like, just, you know, and my sessions, my clients, they're all cool, you know, that's great. Yeah. When I'm in that space, when I'm in a meditative space, I actually feel okay. But yeah, it even though I do feel that my vessel is clear, and I've also been informed that my vessel is clear, the fact that maybe on an atom level I'm splitting, there's going to be a physical manifestation of that. Do you know what I mean? It's like with fever, feeling lethargic. Schumann resonance at the moment, I think, has been off the charts for the last 3 days. Completely, like, it's never been this high.
I feel that with the work that I've done as well during the sea, and like all this stuff that we've been doing, and like I haven't stopped. I've had my blinkers on, and I know, like, you know, I've been flowing as well, like yourself, and, you know, doing things with flowing. But I do feel that I can't remember what I was going to say now. What was I talking about? I lost my chain of thought.
You were saying
Oh yeah, no. I was saying that I feel that through everything that I've done, like, you know, this weekend I hook up with a guy and stuff, right? And we were together. It was all fine and stuff. But I kind of like, unless you're like at my frequency, like at a really high kind of joyful frequency, I feel like I'm out of place, you know.
Totally.
I feel like I can't connect with that man or woman unless we are, I mean, I can, but it just doesn't feel
very serious level.
But that in itself causes nostalgia to me, because it feels like the life that we had before and the way of living that we had before is kind of it's kind of dissolving. We're going to be going into a very different way of living, and it's great. It's really exciting, but it's also such a huge shift, and you can feel the split. It's like that, you know, the whole of your life, your past life is no longer you know, the way you want to live.
Yeah.
You know.
Totally get it. Totally get it. Right. So have you been sleeping okay yourself, or have you been like, has your sleep been disturbed?
Well, it's been a bit disturbed this week.
Yeah.
It's been a bit disturbed this weekend because I had loads going on, and then my daughter and whatever. But no, I normally sleep okay. So I don't sleep many hours because I'm always doing stuff. At the moment, I haven't. So, but no, it hasn't caused any problems with my sleeping patterns.
Okay. And any bizarre dreams? Because the last three nights I've had some really, I can only describe them as spiritual dreams.
Oh, I've had a few people tell me they've had some crazy dreams lately, like beings visiting them and stuff like that, and you know, being in fear. And I was just saying to them, you know, you don't need to be in fear if you have beings coming to you. You could just do like a psychic protection or a protection or something like that. But I think if you're in a high, if you maintain your frequency super high, those beings, if they're dark, they can't come in.
Yeah.
Can they? They can't. So
I've not experienced anything like that, but okay.
Tell me about your dream.
So last night, my right thumb, they had to cut the top bit off, like from the knuckle. So they cut it in half so they could take something out of the nail, and then they just put it back on, and it was fine. Yeah, it was fine, right? It was fine. There was no attachment to it. It's just something that needed to be done. So that was done. The night before, I have an image that I have to draw that I haven't drawn. I'm not going to speak about that. I'm just going to draw the image. But there was a lot of downloads, and the downloads that I was receiving were quite reassuring. It's kind of like, it's okay. This is what needs to be done. Right. And the night before that, right, brace yourself for this one, right? Yeah, brace yourself. So I was in, okay, so it was the ladies' toilets with my best mate who I used to go clubbing with, right? And it must have been a ladies' toilets in a club. That's the only way I can describe it. So I went to go to the loo, and there was a bit of poo in the bowl, right? Yeah, right. So I just sort of hovered over it because I needed a wee, yeah?
Right.
And then there was crap all over my trousers where it had touched the bowl, right? Yeah. So I needed to go and wash off my trousers with this crap that was on it. At this point, another friend has come into the toilets. While I'm stood there, I've obviously got no drawers on at this point, right? But now, apart from the top that I have on, washing this poo off of my trousers. And then, I don't know, it was kind of it's again a very spiritual dream. Me and this guy started stabbing one another.
Oh, wow.
Right? But it wasn't fearful. It was bizarre. When I woke up, I was like, what the rasp was that? I thought maybe it's my darkness coming up or whatever, but it didn't feel dark. Like, I can't explain it. However, I've just had a conversation with my friend, right? Because I bought some of this nano clay to remove the graphene oxide from the body. Yeah, now this clay is shaped in such a format that the graphene, which is a nanoparticle, sticks to the clay, and then the body can realizes that isn't part of the body, that needs to go. So your immune system starts to clear it out, right? Now, because graphene oxide, as we know, cuts the inside of the body, doesn't it? And it's shit. So hence the reason why I'm dreaming of shit and cutting. I'm getting cut, someone else is getting cut, right? So what my soul the next day says, take that clay. I've not made this connection. I've only made this connection like about an hour and a half ago. Because I was like, what are these mad dreams? I'm having mad dreams. It's just a mad dream, right? I did like look up the meaning of the dreams and what, like all the bits that I've just shared with you. I've looked up the meaning and that made me go even more nuts. So I just thought, leave that alone.
Wow.
But it makes sense to my soul that I had to experience that dream to get off my arse, to take this clay, to get whatever crap that they've been pumping in the water or spraying from the skies or whatever, however it's coming to the body. But we can all safely assume that we have this graphene oxide within us. Yeah. So this clay removes it. So it's funny that the next day, yeah, I get downloads. I'm getting downloads of information, this image, and a reassurance that it's okay. This just needs to happen. We just need to do this. It's everything you're going through at the moment is okay. Yeah. And then like the psychic, have you ever had psychic surgery before?
I think I did that in a workshop not long ago.
Yeah.
But no. In that workshop, it wasn't quite.
No. Okay.
I heard of what that is. Yeah.
Well, I've had psychic surgery before, which is quite a strange phenomena actually, but you can feel guides coming in and arranging you how you should be in divine order, basically. Yeah. So that's what the thumb operation that I had last night, taking whatever out of my now, that felt like psychic surgery. However, there wasn't anyone present but myself and my higher self, right? And it's funny that that's happened since I've had the clay. The clay, this is my third day of taking the nano clay. So basically you take it for 3 days, you have a day off, you take it for another 3 days, you have a day off, and then you take it for another 3 days. And that should be enough clay in your system to remove this graphene oxide. So far, I'm feeling that it is doing what it's supposed to do, judging by my dreams and you know, what's been going on there.
But also because you've been unwell, so maybe it's just it's taking out whatever.
Well, I could be unwell because there's been, I know, maybe too much graphene oxide in my body. Don't know.
Yeah.
It could be the ascension. It could be the splitting from, you know, carbon to crystalline. It could be any of these things. But I'm
kind of a bit confusing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we're traveling to somewhere which is unknown to all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky we have connection to our guides. I mean, when we talk about connection to our guides, most people think you've lost your marbles that are in this 3D world. But I'm really grateful for my guides because they're reassuring me. You know,
I don't know if I hear my guides or not, but I know that I just follow my intuition and I follow thoughts, like I follow whatever comes in when I'm not thinking too much.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know I have angels and I know there's guides there watching over me, but I haven't quite connected so directly as you, but that's okay. I know I will.
Well, you know, you don't really have to think about it. You know, sometimes those thoughts that you're having are your guides.
Well, no, exactly. You know, it's just the way you say it. You know, it's the way you perceive it, if you will. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. So yeah, it's been quite bizarre, quite eventful.
Yeah, I think what's important in this chat is to, you know, like remind people that if they are feeling a little bit unwell, it isn't for you to worry and go to the doctor and stuff like that. Sometimes it might just be that you're deficient in something. It might just be that you are actually going through ascension symptoms. Yeah, and exactly. They're very, you know, they're very they're very present. They've been present for the last 2 years, I would say, maybe even more than that. I don't know, but that I'm actually conscious of them and aware of them. It's been a while now, and yeah, it's a time for us to just realize that the way to heal from that is to listen to your body, you know. listen to your body and give your body the rest that it needs.
Totally.
And just go in, you know, just go in and be good to yourself and nurture yourself and be with love, and just get rid of whatever no longer serves you in your life. You know, just make sure you look after your energy.
Yeah, for sure, right? For sure.
But if you're feeling down and you need to meet somebody, because you know, just, you don't have to, you can just leave it, say no, I can't, you know. It's like, don't have so many expectations of other people either, you know, because it's a time where people that are around you, you may have to leave them behind, or they may be moving away from your life. You know, it's like our existence is shifting from 3D to 5D. It's moving from the density. Then you start kind of discovering that there's more to life than what we see. And then maybe no longer you feel interested to speak to those friends or to that family member because they're not seeing the way you're seeing things, because we're all different. You know, we've come to this planet many different times, but you know, some of us are old souls, some of us are young souls, but we're all here to ascend. Like, there's no one who is not here to ascend.
Yeah. Going back to what you were saying about the doctor, I actually did go to see the doctor today just to get some checks, just to make sure, because I didn't want to just assume it's Ascension Symptoms when it may be, I don't know, thyroid playing up or whatever, or deficient. I mean, I don't know how I could be deficient in vitamins and minerals the way I rattle in the morning. Because, you know, I've got my little morning ritual of taking my Corello and my vitamin D and all my other minerals and stuff that I have there. So, but you know something, right? So I'm not one to run to the doctor at all, but because this has been going on for quite a while, I thought, okay, I just need some reassurance that nothing else is going on here. And I thought, right, I'm going to have to deal with the whole C word, like being rammed down my face, and maybe have to wear one of those to go in there. And I just thought, well, I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. And they have to respect my autonomy. Right? I went all kind of political and militant going in there. And you know something, I saw the nicest doctor. She was just so human about it. So she checked all my vitals. She checked my heart, my blood pressure, whatever that thing is. I think, is it heart rate or oxygen in your blood?
One of the heart rate, isn't it?
Heart rate. My friend said it was oxygen in the blood, but I think it's.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's heart rate. I mean, that's your vitals. So she said, like, everything's perfect. She turned around. She's like, it could be that you've just got a virus or something. She didn't say the C word. She's just like, you know, it could be you just got a virus or something, and it's just knocked you out a bit. But I'm gonna, you know, so I'm going for some blood tests. She's gonna, like, she's done all that. She wants me to go for some blood tests. We'll just check everything out, just so we kind of got peace of mind. She was really I was a person in that room, which is not really an experience that I have with doctors, because I find that they're up their own backside, you know, and you kind of have to go in and serve that. Well, I'm not that type of person anyway. Do you know what I mean? But it was a really lovely experience. So if someone is feeling rough, set a good intention. You're going to get a person that's going to see you as a human being, and just do the vitals, because things like blood tests, I can't do that here. Do you know what I mean? So if you need peace of mind, I recommend that people do it.
No, I think it's important to make the most of, you know, our hospitals for, like, analysis, you know, for, like, more in detail of whatever it is you're feeling.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's important to be able to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
We just stopped at the same time. But that's cool that she was more human, you know, that's cool. I mean, like, there's, you know, for me, I was just going to talk about, like, how I've been seeing the shift as well. Like, there is this nostalgia, but on Tuesday it was solstice, or was it Monday, the 21st of June?
Tuesday.
It was Tuesday, yeah. So basically, I'm based in Mallorca, as you know. I don't know, you know, some people might not know, but I'm based in Spain, in Mallorca. And I met this amazing opera singer up in the mountains. And I've been to her events before, and it's just totally, it's the example of what 5D looks like. So it's just, it was absolutely beautiful, and there was just musicians and artists and creatives, all sorts of different ages, and there was children, and everyone was laughing. And she does these workshops, and they're called Moby Canto, and she takes them to like the top of the mountain, like where there's like a view of the sunset. She does this every Tuesday, and then you go and you just sing, and everybody practices their throat chakra. Everybody practices to open their throat chakra, so everyone vocalizes. Yeah. So she had this amazing band, and they were like electronic, like kind of chill out, beautiful. And he had all these different instruments, like the hand drum, the, you know, Tibetan. I mean, it was insane. Like he had all, and they were just like touching the buttons, like literally looping and producing live, and it was like, I felt like I was in a jar of honey. It was just lovely. And, yeah, and I went out there, and it was just beautiful. And she wanted me to perform, and I asked if me and her could just vibe with the musicians. And it was the energy, you know, like and it was just so pure. And then you had like someone serving you drinks and making sure you were okay, and everyone was so kind, and we were all at the same frequency. There was no dramas, there was no judgment, there was nobody judging anyone. People were dancing, people were swimming, some people were swimming naked, you know. But I mean, it's Spain, everyone has no top on the beach here. But anyway, it was just a beautiful experience, and that made me feel like, okay, so I had the nostalgia of the split, but actually also I'm connecting with the tribes that are slowly being created, so that everybody joins that kind of way of celebrating life, you know. In a high vibration. And in London, I'm sure there's loads of gatherings now, and like even in a hospital, like people are feeling, maybe there are people who are, there's a massive awakening, there really is. I do believe that. I think that a lot of people that I couldn't speak to before are actually now like listening, you know. Not saying much, but just listening, and actually thinking, you know, I'm feeling this now.
A different vibration, for sure. Different vibration,
because it's in the air. Like it's in the air now, you can't escape from it, you know.
no.
Unless you're really, really, really programmed in the mind control, and all you do is watch Netflix and the Hollywood and the news and the radio, and you know, you're totally into that, then that's you're dense. That's when you're really into the density. So it's really hard for the shift to happen. It's hard for the energy, for you to feel the energies. You don't know what's going on with you because you're in that density, but you know that something isn't quite right because the energies are more intense, because you're getting pains, because you're getting, as we were saying before, you're getting pains, and you're unconscious, like you don't know what it is, but that's exactly what it is. It's the light coming in going, hang on, you need to maybe try and do other things, try and have some peace of mind, you know. But no one is better than anyone else, you know, Debs. I always say this. When I'm saying this, it feels like I'm separating people that do this, people that do that, but actually we're all together here. So we all have to be pushing and helping each other to shift slowly and smoothly, and help in whatever way possible we can to make people have a more smoother ride, if you will, through this human evolution that we are experiencing right now on this planet.
Yeah, totally. There, yeah, it's funny, right? Over the last few days, I've kind of said to myself, like, the more I know nothing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
The more I've done so much work, but actually at this point I know nothing, and that's okay. It's cool. It's almost like I really have just handed over. I have no power here. right? Like, there's no getting off this ride, basically. It's happening with or without you. You can either you can try and resist. I haven't been resisting at all, really. I've kind of just been like, oh, whatever. Oh, you haven't hoovered the floor today. Oh, okay, whatever. You know, it's just about resting for me at the minute. That's kind of me honoring myself. My sovereignty right about now needs to rest.
Being less hard on ourselves, being less hard on ourselves. And that's part of the ascension, for us to be able to shift through the ascension without getting too overwhelmed with what's happening, like all the shifts as well within the system, all the truths that are coming out, all the questions that we have. It's all a lot. It's a lot to take in right now. So it's okay. It's okay to be cool, to be just chilled with yourself as well, to give yourself that time and not to be hard on yourself. Like, oh, how did I not do that? How did I not realize this? And all the burden coming up, like, why not going over and over and over that thing that you didn't do when you were younger, or that abuse that you went through, or whatever, allowing your mind to just rest while this shift is happening, because it's it's a lot.
Huge. Yeah, it's huge. I find being out in nature is quite comforting. It's not just grounding, it's actually quite comforting as well, so that I find that really helps.
Yeah, it just feels like you're embodying. It just feels like when you're out, you're wrapped in that support, that Mother Earth support. It just feels like she's holding you.
Yeah.
Well, I feel that, like I feel that, and then like when you go for that walk, even if it's on a bit of grass, you then come back and you're like, okay, you're more stable, you're a bit more stable, and you can kind of hold on to whatever's coming your way.
Yeah, for sure.
You're a little bit more stable.
So, have you got any tools that you want to share at this stage for anyone that's kind of feeling a bit sort of wobbly? Or
Well, I have, and lately, like this week, I need to apply them myself.
yeah, I know that one, right?
So tomorrow I'm on it, because my daughter's gone camping now, so I've got like 5 days of freedom, so I'm just going to do my stuff. But today I was just kind of chilling. But yeah, I would say if you need to shake out the body, it's important to shake out the body and do like a grounding meditation as well. And just don't put too many things on your list to do's, just don't put too much stuff on your list to do's. Don't be so, like before with like, I used to run a business, and I was always very like, my list to do needs to be done. Tick, 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 it was just like, and actually now I detest that. Like, I know I've got things to do, but if I don't get them done, it's okay. It's okay, because I give the flow of my day as much as importance as the planning of my day, as the action of my day, because I'm trying to keep in balance the feminine and the energy, the feminine and the masculine energy, which is very important right now for us to have that balance.
Totally.
I'm trying to keep that together. And I would say as well, I actually have hardly any notifications on my phone. I have Telegram on, I have WhatsApp on my phone, but they're all silenced.
Yeah.
Like, don't let this thing like get in your way all day. Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go, because when you switch off the sounds, it's actually lush, Like, since I've dropped my business, I just feel so much more free, and I feel like I can listen to myself, and when I'm walking, I can speak to myself out loud without having interruptions of blings and bings and bongs and dings, and
I turn it off because I don't want I don't want to be summoned by anything on the phone, really. You know, obviously it's nice to talk to people when that's the reason why, yeah, I turn off the notifications. And try not to be on it really too much, you know.
Yeah. There's also one thing I wanted to say is that lately, these last 2 weeks, so I came back from Mexico and I launched my online dance thing. I'm having a little issue with the tech thing with Zoom, but that's kind of coming. But I needed some money, basically, right? So I've been activating my abundance, and yeah, suddenly I had all these like some Airbnb jobs come up, you know, like, and I'm like, okay, you know, that's cool. You know, at first I was a bit like, oh, I felt like I was kind of moving back, like going back to the job that I was doing before that I don't want to do, you know, because a lot of us have moved from that kind of job that we weren't too happy with, and we're trying to focus on our creative, and we're trying to make things happen, and it's not easy, you know, it's not easy, and it can pull you down. And what I wanted to say is that, you know, you can't really tell universe how things are going to be delivered. Okay. If you manifest something and you say, I want this in my life, I'd like, you know, a little bit of abundance in my life, or, you know, provide me this, that, you know, it might come in the form of, it can come in the form of anything really. You know, it might come in the form of a cleaning job, but then at this cleaning job, you might meet somebody that might have like, I don't know, in my case, might have like a gig or someone I can speak to about music, or I don't know, someone who might offer me 10 grand for something. Or but what I'm saying is that, you know, as long as you're in a high frequency. So I like cleaning. I actually like cleaning, and it's service to others. And we're moving into this quantum energy way of being, where abundance only comes to you when you work from your heart. So if you're doing something from your heart, and you're doing it because you enjoy it, and you're serving another person, whether it be in a bar, whether it be cleaning, whether it be just something, even labor, if it's something that you don't mind doing, and you're still trying to get to your dream job, your dream objective, it's actually okay to do that. You know, don't feel like you're failing, because you're not. Yeah. And it's all, you know, bit by bit, you're going to be able to build this new way of living that we're all wishing to, you know, to create in some way, you know, whether it be something small, something big, it doesn't matter. But I'm sure we all have, many of us have something we want to achieve, you know. And I think the Ascension Symptoms obviously are really hard to handle as it is. We do not need more pressure. You know, we don't need more pressure on like trying to achieve stuff and my goals, because I have learned in my life that everything happens in divine timing. And that's why I don't worry. I know that if I get more of this done this week, then something else will happen on the next week. You know, I was doing some cleaning, but then I got a gig, so my creative suddenly came up, and then I met this person, and I had a little bit of love come up, and then I had a bit of this come up, and it's just like, oh, it's all just falling into place. Like I don't even have to work too much here. And luckily I don't have too many symptoms, but I am forgetting stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would say. Don't be hard on yourself.
Yeah, well, I think the more we align to what we want, the quicker it comes. So the universe is only going to give us what we're asking for if we're fully aligned with what we're asking for. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And also because, you know, when you're with joy, it doesn't matter whatever's in front of you and you're doing it. When you're with joy and you know where you're going and you're aligned to where you're going, it will provide, you know, it does come to you. But it's seeing it, it's being conscious of actually seeing the signs.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we ask for stuff and we say, oh, universe, please provide me this. And then maybe you have to go through an ego lesson before you get to that.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to be triggered in a certain way before you get to that point. But you're getting triggered and you're thinking, damn, this is not what I asked for. Like, no, move out my way. Universe, what are you doing? But actually, universe is maybe giving you a lesson before you can get to that point that you've manifested.
Yeah. It's about enjoying the journey.
Yeah.
It's about enjoying the journey.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's understanding that it's about the journey.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, definitely.
And it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Well,
It's not easy for any of us, but you know, there's a good side to it, you know, but there's pain through where we go, you know, we feel things, but you know, the fact that we're feeling things and you allow the energy to flow through your body, the fact that you do not hold on to that, the fact that you're flowing through it, and you can understand.
When
Yeah,
you attach to it, you're creating resistance when you're attaching to it. So that makes
yeah,
it
yeah, exactly. It's your ego is just, yeah, that's exactly it. It's knowing that it's not part of you and it's just flowing through you, and it's just there to make you grow as a human being, and that's it, really. Love you, Debs.
I love you too, babes. I had a little brainwave the other day. I had a little like waking download, should I say? Getting my words mixed up as well, more often than usual. I suddenly thought that maybe having a crystalline body will need different nutrients to support that than a carbon body. That come up for me, which is interesting.
Yeah, what I do know is that with a crystalline body, you're a very high percentage of light, and therefore you hardly need to eat. You eat light, very light.
Yeah, and it's going to be alkaline. It's going to be more alkaline. But have you ever done I don't know whether we spoke about this. Have you ever done an alkaline diet where?
No, I haven't. We did speak about this. No, I haven't. I have a water system installed, and it's ionized water, which is giving me a lot of energy.
It's alkaline, yeah. Yeah, what I discovered from doing an alkaline diet is that alkaline feeds the soul and acid forming foods feeds the ego. So it's definitely going to be a more alkaline diet that we're eating. So that's going to help to support our crystalline body, which is what I got. So, and then I questioned, so why am I eating so many carbs? Is it my ego trying to survive, or what's going on? I mean, I did start questioning it, and then I just let it all go. It's just like, just go with whatever is going on for you right now. Just go with it.
Well, what I do know is that when you kind of open up the fridge and you go, fuck it, that's your ego. That's your ego kind of going, oh, don't worry about it, just eat it anyway. It's fine. But I've been eating that way a little bit. I think also maybe it's the nostalgia of not being able to eat like that anymore. Like we're moving into a crystalline body, like we're not going to be able to eat the kind of stuff.
Yeah, it could be my ego just wanting a farewell meal. Like the Last Supper. It's the Last Supper for the ego. Gee, really?
But I do, you know, I haven't been eating so healthy, and I feel that I really do notice it in my body. But I'm not being too hard on myself. I know that I'm going to be, tomorrow will be another day, and I'll make a green juice with the spinach that's kind of gone off in my fridge for a couple of a week.
Some new spinach, babe.
That's been terrible this week, you know, but yeah, I mean, you can't always be like, you know, living a conscious lifestyle is hard work.
Yeah, but like I've usually got it in the bag. I can't believe the amount of shit that I've eaten. Seriously, to the point of it's just like, oh, whatever, stop beating yourself up. You're eating shit this week, and that's just how it is. Just go with it. There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it, you know, so I'm just
sometimes the body just needs it. Sometimes the body just needs to, you know, give yourself a little break, you know.
That's also part of an ascension symptom as well. I somewhere that eating unusual foods, having unusual food cravings, you know, sleep patterns being off the wall. It can feel like fever. It can feel like you're dying, which I've had that feeling, like I've said to you. So it's all ascension symptoms.
But it's like sometimes if you need to ground, you might want to eat some lamb.
I don't really fancy eating any form of Barbie, not
lamb or meat, or like I don't eat that much meat anymore, to be honest. But sometimes if I need a bit of like, I don't know, like grounding, like a good bit of meat, or not even chicken anymore, actually, not even pork. Yeah, actually, but I do know that sometimes I did have that calling, not so much now, but it's like an example. I know that sometimes you need those kind of foods, sometimes your body asks for it, and you just kind of need that to fill your body with whatever that void may be. Because again, it's hard to live on this planet as well, like I do believe that some of the animals that have come in while we've been eating meat they were meant to come in this lifetime to be sacrificed for us, because we needed the meat, because we've been so disconnected from who we really are. I feel that.
Yeah, I haven't felt that way for a while about me, I've got to be honest. So that is probably the worst thing I could hear as a suggestion for me. That makes me want to vomit, sweetheart.
No, but basically it makes me feel a little bit worse, like, because animals have been eaten for such a long time that it just feels like in that time those animals, they were meant to be here for that suffering, for that time that we were here abusing of everything. I know it's horrible, but it's an evolution. It's just
definitely part of the journey. I'm not sure whether it is. Well, it has been part of the journey, obviously, because people eat meat.
But they say in this new earth, they say in this Nazara way of living and this new system that's coming in, that that all animals are going to be protected, and there's going to be like hospitals for animals. Have you heard that?
It wouldn't surprise me. Well, there are hospitals for animals now, but I think.
No, but I mean, like there's going to be more. Like animals they're going to have the same kind of rights as us.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a bigger connection to animals, and I think it will be incredibly difficult for us to eat animals once we get that connection. If you think of Avatar. The film Avatar, where there is a connection to, it shows in the movie, there is a connection to absolutely everything, trees, plants, all animals.
So beautiful, that movie. I love that movie.
It is a beautiful movie, and I think Avatar 2's out, I think, so I saw, so I wouldn't mind catching that. But
no way. I want to.
It's like over 10 years that was made. So I was reading, 10 years ago.
But that was an example of how we really are, how we're all connected. That's so beautiful. And I think the next chat that we have, it would be cool to kind of speak about like the new earth, or like there's so much to talk about when it comes to Nazara Jazara and all of this, new technologies and things like that. I think the ascension symptoms we're going through right now, well, we just need to kind of stick by them and allow the processes to happen, right, Debs?
We don't really have much choice, babes. It's just like, take a seat and breathe, bitch.
As long as we've got each other and we've got support and we understand what it is that's happening to our bodies. Yes. And we understand what is happening around us. That's the most important thing. And I think that's why we're doing this chat as well, just to let people know that actually they're not going crazy. It's just you're feeling things because things are happening in the planet,
Yeah.
And maybe we should just end with that. What do you want to say? Anything else?
I don't feel like I'm going crazy. I feel like I was born slightly touched. And I'm cool with that. I can own that. That's fine. No, that's it for me, babes. Yeah, that's it for me. You?
Yeah, nice chill chat today.
Indeed, right?
So 5D is where we want to be, right?
Indeed. Thank you.
And that's why the Ascension Symptoms are quite essential to be aware of. So yeah, guys, be strong. We're here if you need us. Catch us at Bella Emotion on Telegram. You can catch me doing online dance on Amazee_music on Telegram. I'm also on Instagram, Deb.
Yeah, you can catch me at debbiegiles.com if you feel like you need a healing. I'm still doing healings, even though I'm ascending. And yeah, if you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe to our channels. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.